It's the richest, the boldest, the most famous of them all, and it's coming soon. Welcome to the cross-country course preview for the 2019 Mitsubishi Motors Badminton Horse Trials.
Oh, goodness me, the mare has really jumped in.
What a wonderful clear round under pressure by Cadell Price.
Welcome to Badminton. Well, we know this is the one they all want to win, but what will they have to do to get their hands on the most prestigious prize in the sport of eventing? Well, I have two people with me here at Badminton who know more than most. First of all, course designer Eric Winter. Hello, and Sam Watson, inventor and medalist many times over. So let's start with you first of all, Eric, because the big news this year is that Badminton has gone 5-star.
I don't think that makes a lot of difference, really. I mean, they wanted to bring in a category below, so the only way was to shift the categories up, sort of thing. So intrinsically, 5-star and 4-star are going to be the same in demands and questions.
Sounds good, though, doesn't it?
It does, exactly, yeah.
There have been some other changes, though. I mean, a few tweaks here and there with the scoring and various bits and bobs.
Yeah, they've changed the time faults in the show jumping, and they've changed the dressage collectives. So they just get one score. I mean, I think it's really just to try and keep the sport level in the way that it runs and the influence of each section.
Let's move on to Sam now, because Sam, you're not riding here, which is why I'm lucky enough to have you with my course preview. That's because it's a European Championship year.
Yeah, we got one horse coming from the World Games last year. He did an awful lot to get there. He jumped up through the grade, so we said we'll give him one breather now in the spring. We got Tokyo next year and things, and yeah, the Europeans will be the aim. And I've got a couple of horses who will step up to 5-star this season, but in my opinion, you don't start at Badminton, and there's a lot to jump here this year. It is an absolutely huge field, stacked with quality and talent, and I can't wait to see them in action.
Eric, the fact that it's a European Championship year, does that in any way affect the way you've gone about designing this course?
A little bit. We run anti-clockwise on the Worlds and Olympic years, and then we run clockwise on the European years. We get a better field in the European year, and it's a stronger track when we run clockwise, because you hit the undulating ground at the start much earlier, so you can use that, whereas when you hit that undulating ground at the tail end of the track, your horses are tired, so you want to spare them a little bit. So yes, it does make a difference, and I do build stronger, I think, when we go this way.
Let's go to the stats man now, because Sam, you are one half of the stats specialist Equi ratings. What do the stats say you need to win Badminton, and who have you got your eye on?
Well, it really depends on, those weather conditions are important, and what Eric has put for them as to how influential that cross country is going to be. We knew from quite a long way out last year that a horse like Classic Moe and Janelle Price, who eventually did win it, we started talking about her quite a long way before the event, because we knew it had been a wet winter. You've got the likes of Arctic Soul in there for Gemma Tattersall, Billy the Red as well for Tina Cook. They are cross country machines, and they'll want it, the tougher the better. And then, I think Ingrid Klimke is someone who's hard to catch. She is really likely to be our first phase leader.
And what's that great stat you told me about Eric's courses earlier?
Well, he's had 2 goes at Badminton, Eric, but still no one has finished on their dressage score around one of his courses. So I think that's a great stat. I love it. I think Badminton is about testing the very best in the world, and let's see if someone can try and break that trend this year and be the first to join the club.
You didn't know that stat, but that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. I hope not too many break that stat. I quite like that stat. One of my things that I like most about the last couple of years is actually the winners that we've had have been really great cross-country riders and cross-country horses. And that to me is important. It's the thing that makes our sport special, is the cross-country section.
Well, we're going to find out on May the 5th who exactly carries away the prize. But in the meantime, let's see exactly what you have got in store. You two are going to go off now and have a look at the toughest questions on the course.
Yep.
And I will catch up with you, Sam, afterwards. Eric's course this year is just over 4.1 miles long, with an optimum time currently set at 11 minutes and 55 seconds. There are 33 fences, including 49 jumping efforts. And the first combination Eric wants to show Sam is 4 and 5, the Savile Staircase.
This is probably when you really start to know you're at Badminton. It's a big table with 2 steps behind it and another table at the bottom. It's 170 wide. It's not quite finished yet. There'll be a ground line at the bottom. but intrinsically that's the guts of the question.
Yeah, it's big jump in. Yeah, first thing you're thinking, you got to keep your power here. You know there's a question coming on the far side of it, but don't think you want to be too defensive starting off. There's plenty of width on that. You're gonna, as I say, get that good jump in. You're gonna land about here. See what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think there's about 4 strides here, which I like. Last one, a little bit of a shuffle down the bank, which I think is good.
Yeah, I think they'll take a 2-3 yard stride at the bottom of this.
That's perfect. I mean, you don't want them launching from too far back down here. Perfect. So, good. It's quite a drop down here. I think riders gonna have their eye on that last fence. You don't want to be dragged down, looking down, even though gravity's going to take you that way. And then letting your horse know that there is one more question still here.
Yeah, I think the distance will come up to you. The one thing that was really noticeable the last time we jumped down this staircase is you got a very unpredictable distance off the bottom of the step. So some horses landed 2 yards out, some really clapped down there and landed within a yard. So you got to feel what happens here as to how you ride to the next fence. So some you need to be prepared to kick, or you need to be prepared to wait. It comes up as you go.
You got that line as well a little bit. You don't want to get dragged out, otherwise I think they're going to chip in an extra stride. I think ideally keep on a more direct line and 3 strides come up.
Yeah. And this again, this is slightly smaller. This has got a 150 top spread, and again there'll be a ground line at the bottom. But I think it's a very positive start to the course, more so than the last fence we had that really made you slow down, but big enough.
Yes, when you say small by badminton standards maybe.
So this is the Shogun Sport Hollow, fence 10. It's the first real question. The others have been very bold and forward riding, whereas this I think is a little bit more control and really about your balance. The barn here is really so I could keep the horses straight without using up a jumping effort, so it made them stay straight to the ditch. And then you've got to decide. It makes no difference where you go from here, left or right, it's just personal preference.
Yeah, these really are acute angles, and I think everything so far has been, you know, that big, bold, in-your-face jumping.
Yeah.
I think now the horse's first question they're going to think is, which one am I going to? That's going to be up to the riders to tell them about that. We've gone from real big and bold, in-your-face, to something that's just a little bit acute, a little bit tricky of you here, Eric. I think we're going to see you're over the ditch, you're straight into the bank. That's going to halt your momentum a little bit. You're not going to get a big stride up here. I think this is a nasty little tricky one, which is good. But this, as I say, you know you're in badminton already. It's being big. Here it is properly acute, and that 2 strides. I think it is on distance. Walking it, it's not too long, but I think riding it, it's going to be quite brave to get here on the 2.
I think the little lip we put around the ditch will put them into the face of that bank quite strong.
Okay.
Which will kill your stride upwards. So you, a novice person would say that you'll walk a 4 yard stride to get to the top of that. Actually, you're not going to get there. Your first stride's going to be quite short.
Going to be a lot of heart in the mouth stuff here. Riders sort of finding themselves a little bit off, digging deep. Horses digging deep, riders digging deep, and the new thing, which is going to be really relevant, I think, particularly at this, is can they stay inside that flag?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, we now require the hind end to stay inside it. Momentum with the turn here, I think you're going to see a lot of back ends clipping that as well. So riders just going to keep that in mind.
Yeah. The new rule is that the horse has to stay both shoulders and the hind quarters of the horse has to stay within the flag. It's easy for a rider to know whether its shoulders and its head and neck have been inside the flag. It's much harder for a rider to know whether its quarters are inside the flag or not, or whether it's just the horse's leg that's hit the fence. And I think you'll see that might cause a slight difference in the way riders ride. I think they'll take more time to get straight, and I dare I say it, I think it might take some of the flow out of their riding ability because they'll have to be so exact.
Tell you what, if I was here, I'd be awake at night, I think, in the lorry thinking about just what I'm going to do with this one. So yeah, they've got some decisions to make.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is 17, A, B, C, and 18, the Mirage water. It's a big old corner into it, and there's a big ditch in the centre, so it's really about how much angle you put on this first corner. To me, as designer, I designed it, the more you accept the angle at the first corner, the easier it makes the second two. If you don't accept the angle of the first corner and you try and make it a little bit more simple, then you finish up going right and left to try and get to the other fence, and it becomes impossible to jump.
But this is back to that badminton reputation of this vicarage line, footbridge, bank, up to Giuseppe's water. I mean, pretty relentless. And now we're coming down to another big open corner, and intriguing to see what's on the other side.
Absolutely. You get outside of this area and you get back into the park, you'll be a very happy person.
Yeah.
I think the angle you take here is really important.
Yeah, it's a big old wide corner coming in.
It is a wide corner, and you've got to get that line that takes you to that white flag.
Okay, so we're coming down to just an open ditch with water in it.
Yeah.
So getting our line, I think you're going to want to keep out a little bit here, because it's this turn after the ditch, back to what looks like from here another big corner. But this is an interesting one. You don't see many horses. We don't jump this too regularly.
No. And to me, it'll get you to just shuffle down the bank a little bit. But some horses will pick off the top here.
Yeah, interesting.
But it brings in an unpredictable element to it.
Yeah, you like that. You use that a little bit now. Throughout the course, sort of not being able to predict exactly what the horses are going to do. A lot of natural jumping, which is good. So getting the line here from this ditch, as you say, you don't know what you're going to get on landing, but what you do have to do is you've got to sort out your turn to this next big corner.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, you can walk the distance, and of course riders will walk the distance, but I actually, I think you're going to want to get square to this. It is a big fence. This is power and this is accuracy combined. Yeah. And it's back to the old-fashioned badminton ethos that when you come down to this vicarage area, you've got an awful lot of jumping to do in the space of a few minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, to me, it starts quite open, the course, and it's really flowing and really nice big fences, and then it gets really hot down here. You know, a lot of decisions to be made, not just about those angles, but actually about what pace you're going to come, whether you're going to go left or right, how you're going to land, feeling it when you land, and your brain and the horse's brain will be on overtime when they come through this section, I think.
Yeah, looking forward to watching this one.
Well, keep watching because our badminton cross-country preview continues after the break.